You felt it, that sudden emptiness after, the loss of fire, drive, clarity. One moment, euphoria. The next, numb. And no one talks about it. Not because it's not real, but because it's too close, too personal, too misunderstood. This isn't about guilt. It's not about shame. This is about energy. Because what you do with your body, especially in moments of pleasure, either builds your power or drains it. There's a hidden mechanism inside you, a circuit older than memory, one designed to transform raw desire into vital force. The ancients called it many names. Jing, Jing. In Taoist alchemy, ojas in yogic science, creative fire, sexual magnetism, primal current. It's not metaphor. It's real. It fuels everything from your immune system to your aura. But here's the part no one teaches. Every orgasm is an energy event, a discharge, a release, a signal sent from your core that says, let go, empty out, reset. And if done with awareness, that reset becomes rejuvenation. But if done in distraction, in compulsion, in boredom, stress, escape, that reset becomes erosion. You leak, not just fluid, but essence. Your mind fogs, your motivation dulls, your emotional threshold drops, and slowly you start to wonder, where did my fire go? This is not about quitting pleasure. It's about understanding what pleasure costs and what it can give when used consciously. Because the truth is, masturbation is not inherently draining, but when it's used unconsciously, it becomes a shortcut to silence instead of a portal to power. Most people never explore the second option. They don't realize that their greatest energy loss doesn't come from work or stress or relationships. It comes from how they treat their own pleasure. In the next part, we'll explore the biology and ancient wisdom behind this system. You'll see how your brain, glands, and breath all respond to this energetic circuit, and how you can flip the switch from depletion to creation. But before that, pause, feel your body, not with judgment, with curiosity, and ask, what if the thing I used to escape was actually the key to my power? If only I learned how to hold it. Let's get clear. You're not just releasing fluid, you're releasing information, chemical, electrical, energetic, and the body responds every time. 1. The brain's biochemical roller coaster. When you climax, especially through solo stimulation, the brain goes through a violent chemical cycle, a surge of dopamine, reward, a burst of oxytocin, connection, a sharp rise in prolactin, refractory shutdown. Dopamine gives you the high, Prolactin brings the crash, and the crash is deeper with overexposure, especially to artificial stimulation like porn. This crash doesn't just affect your mind, it alters your nervous system. You go from alert and driven to lazy and empty, from "I can do anything" to "what was I even doing?" This isn't failure, it's biology, and repetition rewires the circuit. 2. Hormones and essence. Depletion. Eastern systems said it long before labs proved it. Your seminal fluid is not just reproductive, it's energetic capital. It contains zinc, magnesium, enzymes, proteins, androgenic hormones, and what Taoists called Jing, your primal battery. Every release is a withdrawal from that account, and while the body can regenerate, it needs rest, nutrients, focus time. But if you keep withdrawing faster than you recharge, your energy plummets. You lose magnetic presence. You feel like you're fading. It's not just aging, it's energetic bankruptcy. 3. The glandular loop. When you stimulate this system unconsciously and frequently, you strain the adrenal glands, which handle stress, the pituitary gland, which regulates hormone signals, the testes or ovaries, which produce sex hormones and Jing. The entire endocrine orchestra gets thrown off. And the worst part, it happens silently. You don't notice it right away, but over time, you're less motivated, less sharp, less emotionally stable, less connected to your inner compass. It's like unplugging from your own power source and calling it pleasure. So what's the solution? Not shame, not suppression, but awareness. In the next part, we'll explore what ancient alchemists and modern bioenergetic practitioners actually did to reverse this pattern, turning sexual energy from a leak into a life force amplifier. But for now, consider this. What if every time you said yes to quick pleasure, you were saying no to your deepest potential? Here's what they never told you. Your sexual energy isn't meant to stay in your lower body. It's designed to rise, to transform, to become fuel, not just for pleasure, but for power. This is the path of transmutation, not repression, not abstinence. Redirection. 1. The ancient formula. Breath plus focus plus containment. The Taoists, yogis, and tantric masters all discovered the same truth in different languages. Greater than. When you feel sexual arousal, don't release it. Don't suppress it either. Circulate it. How? Start with breath. As the arousal builds, instead of going toward release, shift your attention upward. Visualize the energy moving from the base of your spine, up through your navel, chest, throat, and into your brain. Inhale deeply through your nose, drawing the energy upward. Hold briefly. Exhale slowly through the mouth, grounding yourself into calm presence. Each cycle becomes a pump, raising the charge, expanding your awareness, strengthening your field. This isn't imagination. It's a nervous system technique that rewires your arousal pathway. Over time, the craving to release fades, and the desire to create takes its place. 2. The effects of retention and redirection. As you practice this, you may begin to notice more stamina, sharper mind, increased creativity, a deeper sense of inner power, eye contact that carries weight. Your body becomes an engine, charging instead of discharging. You'll also begin to see pleasure not as something you need to chase, but as something you generate. The paradox: by not needing release, you become more magnetic, more connected, more alive. 3. Sexual energy as fuel for purpose. The great artists, warriors, sages, and visionaries all knew this. Sexual energy is creative force. When you stop wasting it on momentary highs, it becomes available for art, business, meditation, influence, healing. You become a transmitter instead of a consumer. And if this is starting to resonate with you, if there's a part of you that knows you've been leaking something sacred, then listen closely. Subscribe. Hit the bell icon, not just to learn more, but to reclaim control of your energy, your focus, and your life. Because this isn't about denying pleasure. It's about mastering it. In the next part, we'll dive into how to practically build a retention practice, what to expect emotionally and physically, and how to avoid the most common traps. But for now, feel that energy in your body. Notice how alive you are when you don't give it away, and ask yourself, what could I become if I learned to hold fire without burning myself? Power without direction becomes chaos. So now that you know how valuable your sexual energy is, how do you train it? The answer is rhythm, ritual, and attention. 1. The daily practice. Start simple. Each morning before you get out of bed, place one hand on your lower abdomen. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply into that space. As you inhale, feel the warmth gathering. As you exhale, imagine that warmth rising up your spine. This takes 3 minutes, but over time, it reprograms your nervous system to circulate energy instead of discharging it. You'll also want to stay away from overstimulation, excessive visual triggers. Avoid draining behaviors right after arousal, like collapsing into sleep or scrolling aimlessly. Move your body daily, especially your hips and spine, to keep energy flowing. Energy stagnates when the body stagnates, so let movement become your ally. 2. What you'll begin to notice. After a week, you might feel heightened awareness, subtle pulsing in the spine or forehead, more intense dreams, emotional surfacing, old guilt, anger, or loneliness may rise. This is detox, not punishment. You're clearing not just habits, but patterns stored in your tissues. Stick with it. After 2 to 3 weeks, focus sharpens, energy stabilizes, Confidence deepens. Even interactions with others begin to feel more magnetic. People can feel your containment, your presence. You're no longer chasing, you're carrying. 3. From retention to direction. Holding energy is powerful, but where you aim, it is what turns it into evolution. Pick one area of life: art, business, relationship, healing. Channel the fire there. Use the heightened energy state to build, express, connect, lead. This is when transmutation becomes transformation. Because when your creative force has a mission, it becomes unstoppable. In the next part, we'll go deeper into the spiritual dimension of this path. Why many ancient systems believed sexual mastery wasn't just about energy, but about identity. You'll see how mastering this one area can redefine your sense of self and unlock a part of you that's been quietly waiting to rise. But before that, ask yourself, if I can hold this much energy, then who am I really when I stop wasting it? This path isn't just physical, it's psychological, it's spiritual. Because when you master your sexual energy, you're not just changing a habit, you're changing your relationship to power itself. 1. The collapse of false identity. Most people build their identity around external feedback, achievement approval, attention, attraction, and sexual energy, misused, often becomes a shortcut to feel worthy. You chase the high, the validation, the release. But the price, you never build the core. You remain outer-driven. When you begin to retain and redirect, that outer dependency collapses. You start feeling strong without stimulus, alive without escape, grounded in your own internal reality. And it's uncomfortable at first, because your nervous system has to detox not just physical patterns, but the identity that formed around them. 2. The emergence of presence. As you hold energy, something strange happens. People notice. They turn when you enter a room. They feel something without knowing why. This is not charisma. It's field coherence. Your body, mind, and spirit begin vibrating in harmony. You become someone who doesn't seek attention, but naturally attracts it. You don't perform. You just are. Presence deepens. Words become fewer. And what you say, when you speak, lands. Because it's not coming from lack. It's coming from containment. 3. The power of self-authority. Sexual mastery creates energetic sovereignty. You no longer outsource your pleasure, seek permission to feel whole, follow trends to stay distracted. You become the source, the authority, the one who decides what enters and leaves your energy field. And from this place, discipline becomes joy, integrity becomes natural, and your path becomes clear, not because someone told you, but because you feel it in your bones. In the final part, we'll bring all of this together and ask a question that breaks the illusion many still live under. But before that, ask yourself, if I stopped giving my power away, how would the world respond to the real me? So here you are, reading these words with more awareness than when you began, because something inside you recognizes the truth. You've been taught to chase your power when it was always within. This isn't just about semen or hormones or self-control. It's about a decision to stop leaking, to stop numbing, to stop shrinking your life down to moments of empty pleasure, and to start living charged. You now know your energy is precious, your pleasure has purpose, your presence is your power, and your body holds more potential than you were ever told. You've seen that what you do in private doesn't stay hidden. It echoes in your energy, your focus, your confidence, your path. You've learned the ancient way, not to fear your desire, but to honor it, to listen to it, to master it. Because when desire is held instead of spent, it becomes direction. And maybe for the first time, you feel it. You don't need to suppress. You don't need to hide. You need to choose. Choose growth over escape, creation over collapse, power over numbness. The truth has always been here, waiting, burning inside you. So now, I'll ask you one final question, and don't answer quickly. Let it sit in your gut, in your spine, in the fire you've been saving. If your greatest power is the one you've been wasting the longest, then what else about your life has been waiting for you to stop leaking and start rising?